Hello, in this video tutorial, I'm gonna teach you how to create a frequency distribution table and to complete the frequency distribution table, whether it's grouped or ungrouped. Now, I provided a spreadsheet wherein there are steps on how you're gonna accomplish the frequency distribution table. I also provided some exercises for you to practice on, so you're going to master the frequency distribution table. Okay, now let's proceed with the sample A, ungrouped. Okay, now I already have the table here, but if you're going to do it from scratch, so you will be the one to do the table. And we have the scores here. It's already arranged, but of course we need to get the highest score and the lowest score, that we can have the category here in the scores, or in the category here, category column. Now we'll be having the highest score first and then the lowest score. So for the highest score, we compute for the max function or maximum. So max equal sign, so don't forget the equal sign, max, and then open parenthesis, and then highlight the cells, and then close parenthesis, and there you go. So we have 17. So that's the max function. For the mean function or minimum, equal sign, mean, open parenthesis, and then again highlight the cells, and then close parenthesis, and then enter. And then for the number of samples, we use the count function, equal sign, count, and then we highlight the cells again, or the samples, close parenthesis, and then enter. So we have 18 samples, right? Okay, now for the scores, we have to plot the scores from highest to lowest. Okay, so first we have 17, and then 16, and then 15. Now, doing it one by one is too taxing. Now, what we're going to do is, we highlight the cells, okay, and then we drag them, so until it reaches them. Okay, right? So it's easier. So again, so we put at least 3 numbers and then we drag them so that it will be easier for you to complete the category. Okay? Next, let's have the frequency. Now, doing this frequency column is kind of confusing, and a lot of students can have errors here. Now, the first thing that we need to do in the frequency column is to highlight the F column first. You'll see that there are gray areas and white area. So we're going to input the formula in the white area. Okay, so for the frequency function, we type equal sign frequency. So again, don't forget to highlight the F column first, that there will be gray areas, and there will be one area wherein it's a white cell. And then there, we're going to put the function, okay, or the formula. So equal sign frequency, and then open parentheses. They will be asking for argument, and they will be asking for data array and the beans array. Simply put, the data array, so we'll have an explanation here. So sometimes if you don't know what's the argument that they're looking for, so you have to just click this insert function, and then you will see the explanations here. So data array, so you just have to point the cursor here in the data array, and you will see what is a data array and also the beans array. Okay, but to simply explain it, so again, we click, or we type frequency. So you just have to exit the dialog box. Okay, frequency, and then open parentheses, and then we have the data array. So again, the data array are the samples that you have, so you have to highlight it, and then comma. Now for the beans array, these are simply the categories. Okay, so the beans array are simply the categories that you have put there, and then you have to highlight them, so from 10 to 17. Okay, don't forget the 17, because it was covered by the formula, because the formula is too long. And then close parentheses. Now, don't click enter yet because there will be errors. Okay? So don't click enter yet because there will be errors. Now, before you enter, you click together Control, Shift, and then enter. Okay? And then there you go. So you have the formula now. Okay? Or you have the frequency, now. So see if there are 15 fours, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are 6 14s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there you go. So I just want to see, or I just want you to see what will happen if we'll not be following that. So this is what's going to happen. But first, I'm gonna enter first the sum of it. So the sum will be 18. So just to counter check. So again, you go to editing and then auto sum and then enter. So there you go. It's 18. Okay. So but I want to show you guys that what will happen if we're not, or if we will not be following the steps. Okay. So let's say for example that you haven't, or you did not highlight it this way. So what will happen? So here we have equal sign frequency and then open parentheses, and then we have the data array and we have the bins array, and then you close parentheses, and then there you go. See, so the total will be 0. Yes, you got the right frequencies, but the total will be 0. But once you did the auto sum, it will be a spill. So meaning there will be, or there's something wrong with your formula. So that's why we have to do the steps here that I have mentioned. So that you have to do the Control Shift Enter, and you have follow the steps for you to effectively or successfully execute the frequency, or answer the frequency table. Okay? Okay, now going back to our data, next we need to compute for the relative frequency. Okay, so what are we going to do with the relative frequency? All we need to do is to divide the f to the n. Okay, so we have equal sign G2, and then we have G2. Okay, oops. So we have G2, and then we have to divide it by this one, G10. And then there you go, 0.6. Okay, now some of you might do this. You'll drag this one, and there will be an error here. So there will be an error here. So divide by 0 error. So meaning, as you can see with the formula, since the Excel sometimes think that your data is moving, the numbers will also move. So we will just divide it into 18 or into G10. Okay, but as you can see, when I move it from cell to cell, you can see that there will be a moving number as well. So G10, G11, G12, G13, G14, and there are no data here. That means that it's reading that you are moving the scores, or the scores are moving as well. Now, what you need to do is this one. Others might do it like this, so just divide it by 18. You can do that. But look at this. So it's also move. Okay, so you have this. So that could be an easier way. But there are also other ways that you can do it, and you'll not be having a hard time, especially when you are doing big data, that the numbers should not be moved. So let's say for example here, we delete the G18 and we go back to G10. Okay. So if you want this G10 to remain as G10, what do you think is the thing that that we need to do? Okay. So in order for this G10 not to move, we will be putting a $sign here. So $sign before G and $sign dollar sign before the 10 so that it will not move. So the Excel can read that the cell is constant and it will not move. Now once you did this one, so enter, so go back here, and then if you want it to easily highlight or to easily fill in the table, you just have to, did you see this one, that small square? You just have to double click it, and then there you go. Okay, so again, so you just have to double, when you see this small square in the lower right, you just have to double click, and then there you go. You can also do this, you can also drag it, okay, but you can do it like this. Okay, so there you go. So we already have the relative frequency. If you want to know the total of the frequency, relative frequency, we go to editing, and then auto sum, and then enter. And then you got 1. Okay, next. Now, how about for the cumulative frequency? Now, again, for the cumulative frequency, you have to copy first this one. So, the lowest or the bottom frequency, you have to copy it in the lowest cumulative frequency, and then you have to add it in the next frequency, lower frequency, and then so on and so forth. Now, we'll be doing 2 again. So, let's say 1 plus 1. So, this one. So, equal sign. And then the CF. So, you copy the CF. And then you add. So, plus. And then the next frequency. And then enter. Okay. And then, let's do the other one again. So, we have here 2. So, this one, 2. So, equal sign, 2. And then we have another frequency, and then enter. And Excel can actually see the pattern that you are doing in your computation. So you highlight these 2 again, except the 1, because the 1 is constant. You just have to copy this, and this one you use formula, right? So you just have to highlight these 2 and then drag it up. See? So, let's say for example, 7 plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 4 is 17, 17 plus 0 is 17, 17 plus 1 is 18. So, again, to counter check, 1, so the CF and the N should be the same. Okay, so there you go. We already have the cumulative frequency. Now, how about for the percentile? All you have to do is to have this equal sign, and then 18 divided by, or that's I2 divided by, so this one again, we encounter this one again. So when you want to drag this, so just put, if it's constant, so just put dollar sign so that it will not move, and then we multiply it by 100 because that is our formula for the percentile, and then enter. So there you go, you got 100, and then you just have to double click the lower right here, and then there you go. So you have the percentile already. Okay, so that's it for the simple frequency distribution table.